Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is ScottReisch of Crime Talk, and thank you for tuning in. And boy, do we have a bunch to talk about today in the Stauch case. The affidavit for arrest warrant was kind of released and then officially released. And we have our dumb criminal contestant of the day, and you all get to pick the winner for the week. Let's talk about it. Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is ScottReisch of Crime Talk, and thank you for tuning in. We hope you are all doing your social distancing and staying healthy and safe. First on the docket, the Stauch case. This is the murder case from Colorado Springs where his stepmother, Letecia Stauch, has been charged with first-degree murder, along with another sundry of charges as well. Now, we had been waiting for the release of the arrest warrant, the affidavit for the arrest warrant for Letecia. Last night, about 12 a.m., so early morning hours of today, apparently this affidavit was leaked to the media on social media networks as well. A subscriber actually emailed it to me in the wee hours of the morning, and I was able to review that as well. Coincidentally, there had been a motion to unseal the affidavit, and the defense had objected to it, and they had set the matter basically for a status conference that was coming up here on the 14th of April. And I can tell you, just like I had mentioned the other day, with the courts being shut down, it would not surprise me if this was in fact happening. So the court sua sponte, which means basically on their own, the court vacated the upcoming hearing and issued an order ordering counsel to confer, and they are to pick a date sometime in June that the court has offered. So nothing will be taking place until that date. But the court also, as of today, signed an order granting the unsealing of the affidavit. A little too late, I guess, so to speak, to make it formal, but it also raises questions as to whom was the person who released the affidavit. Obviously, it had to be somebody in the courts, the sheriff's department, or the district attorney's office. Although the public defenders on the case probably had one, they were objecting to the release of it, so I doubt they were the ones who leaked it. We'll have to wait and see if there's any type of investigation that takes place about it. So first, what I want to do is, this is a 32-page document, and it is detailed. It's interesting to see what the prosecution is relying upon on this case, and some of the things that maybe they didn't get correct when they filed this on February 28th. Obviously, a lot has taken place since then, particularly the preliminary identification of Gannon's body that was found in Florida. But if you read into the fine details of this affidavit, which I have done so I can bring it to you, there are things in there that are significant and may lead police as to how the body wound up in Florida, because obviously they did not have their assumptions correct in the affidavit filed on February 28th. So first, let's kind of get to the summary of the evidence in the affidavit, and then we'll go through the highlights of the affidavit because it is lengthy. If you would also like to see a complete affidavit, you can go to ScottReisch.com and you can see the document in its entirety. The conclusions of the affidavit for arrest warrant, which were enough to have Letecia arrested for first-degree murder for the death of Gannon, states that Letecia's internet history, it's reasonable to believe that she was unhappily married to Mr. Stauch and had some degree of resentment toward the family as a stepmother. Furthermore, days before Gannon's murder, Letecia appeared to be researching a move to another state to a two-bedroom apartment. The police also believe that Letecia has not provided a fully truthful statement to investigators at the point during this investigation, particularly regarding the circumstances of Gannon's disappearance. Initially, Letecia stated Gannon was playing with a neighborhood friend between approximately 3:15 and 4 p.m., and was expected home by 6 p.m. Within a few days, Letecia changed her story to label herself a victim of a sexual assault, felony menacing with a weapon, and an assault, resulting in Gannon's abduction by her alleged sexual assault perpetrator. Her stories continued to evolve to include a new location of Gannon's disappearance over 30 miles away, several completely different set of circumstances, and unprompted explanations as to why Gannon's blood would be found by investigators in key locations. Letecia was unable to provide a logical reason as to why she'd rented another vehicle while she was still having access to the Volkswagen Tiguan. Based upon the aforementioned facts, it is likely because it contained the remains of the evidence of Gannon's remains, based on positive reaction to luminol in the Volkswagen on the bumper, indicating the likely presence of blood on the rear tailgate. A suspected blood sample from the interior of the trunk area returned a negative result of the presumption presence of blood. Based on the orientation of the mattress in the room, it appears that where Gannon's head and upper torso have been, below that same area, a substance that was confirmed as blood by the Metro Crime Laboratory soaked through the carpet, the pad, and stained the concrete. The blood matches the DNA profile of Gannon in the same area. Blood samples taken from the wall, namely an electrical outlet, were also confirmed to match Gannon's DNA profile. Gannon's blood, again matched to his DNA profile, was also found on a piece of particle board in the area of Highway 105 South Perry Park in Douglas County. This particular area is consistent with Letecia's travels on January 28th of 2020 and January 31st of 2020, based upon GPS tracker location in her Nissan Altima rental vehicle. The police are combining cell phone tower data, reviewing video surveillance, and home security system logs. Investigators believe, based on the evidence, the only 3 individuals with access to Gannon on the afternoon of January 27th were Letecia, Harley, and 8-year-old Lena. With the exception of Lena, who is not considered a suspect, it appears nobody other than Letecia was with Gannon at the Stauch residence between the hours of approximately 2:16 and 5:34 on January 27, 2020, when investigators suspect that Letecia murdered Gannon. So that's the facts, all right? Inconsistent statements, blood. Now, obviously, Gannon's body has been found in Florida based upon a preliminary identification, and then complete inconsistencies. Additionally, they being the investigators, have done extensive search warrant applications, and they've received the data back, and it is not consistent with Letecia's stories that she's originally told them. So that's a very quick summary of why the police believe Letecia is responsible for the death of Gannon. Now, this affidavit is lengthy. It is some 32 pages long, and there is a lot of information contained in it. So we're going to go next to the docket as our dumb criminal contestant of the day, and then our dumb criminal contestant of the week. We will then put out a lengthy analysis of the affidavit for arrest warrant and go through and see what is consistent, which has been confirmed. Is this completely innocent information? Are the police blowing it out of proportion? Or do they, in fact, have their person and is someone else involved? Next on the docket, our dumb criminal contestant of the day. Our dumb criminal contestant of the day comes from Brevard County, Florida. Shane Williams apparently was a little bored with this whole self-quarantine type of situation. And, well, apparently he was downloading some porn and apparently downloaded some child pornography. Now, the police received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that led him to the address of Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams originally denied downloading any of the child pornography, but then admitted the fact that he had done so. He admitted that it was just out of boredom and not for any type of sexual gratification. The significance of Mr. Williams' statement is that that's one of the elements that the prosecution would have to prove was that it was for some sort of sexual gratification. Although, Mr. Williams, you still are a dumb criminal contestant of the day, because downloading anything related to child pornography is always wrong, it's always illegal, and it's just dumb. So, Mr. Williams, you are a dumb criminal contestant of the day. Now, you all have an opportunity to decide who is our dumb criminal contestant of the week. We obviously have Mr. Shane Williams. He was our child pornography, but it was just because it was boredom guy. We have our lingerie shoplifter from earlier in the week. Gentleman eluding state troopers in the state of Washington, and his statement was he was teaching his dog to drive. The woman who tried to say that she was Beyonce to get out of a ticket in New Mexico, as well as our Florida Facebook live streamer saying that she has the coronavirus and then getting into a disturbance when the police basically ask her to go home. You decide who is our dumb criminal contestant of the week. Click on the link above and make your choice for the dumb criminal contestant of the week. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I will have another video put up right about the same time as this one, which is going to explain and go into great detail of the Letecia Stauch affidavit for arrest warrant that was leaked and then ultimately released officially by the courts today. So make sure you join us and let's talk about it.